Governor Christie is cracking down on perks at the embattled Delaware River Port Authority. This in the wake of an NJN News investigative report that first brought the bi-state agency under scrutiny. The governor's office tells NJN News that it wants the troubled agency to strip officials of car allowances and free tolls. The crackdown comes at a time when the state comptroller and the administration's authorities unit are examining practices at the DRPA, which operates bridges, trains, and ferry service across the Delaware. And we've learned tonight it's not just New Jersey eyeing the agency. Pennsylvania's state treasury tells NJN News that he's now investigating the authority as well, asking for information and demanding hard deadlines for answers. On top of all this, Pennsylvania's Auditor General also tells NJN News he has serious concerns about the culture at the DRPA and is scrutinizing the agency. These latest inquiries come after the DRPA's top law enforcement officer, who happens to be a New Jersey appointee, abused his EZPass privileges. Now, State House correspondent Zachary Fink is here now with us. You broke this story late last month, Zach, and it is a lot going on here.
Well, it certainly is, Jim. In the latest incident, Public Safety Director Mike Joyce, who is the top law enforcement officer for the DRPA, took an EZPass that did not belong to him and gave it to his daughter to drive to and from school. He was disciplined, but some people connected to the DRPA feel the punishment was too lenient. Joyce was docked 3 days' pay. He will reimburse the agency for those trips. NJN News also learned today that Joyce has no formal police training. He never went to an academy, and critics had objected to him overseeing the police force to begin with. Meantime, officials in both states, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, are demanding more accountability. Following new allegations about mismanagement and possible abuse of power at the DRPA, the Christie administration is ordering a crackdown. In a statement, Michael Juniak, press secretary for Governor Christie, said, quote, "We are taking it very seriously. I emphasize very seriously. This is a question, at a minimum, of misuse or misappropriation of public property, and it makes one wonder if such abuses are more widespread." The administration is demanding that the DRPA abolish free EZPass and free tolls for commissioners and management, abolish car allowances, approximately $9,000 in addition to base salaries, adjusting or lowering certain bidding thresholds to comply with New Jersey's procurement best practices. While car allowances for some employees is $9,000, CEO John Mathewson's car allowance is more than $16,000. That comes on top of his roughly $220,000 yearly salary. That puts his total compensation at more than $236,000 per year. In addition, Mathewson and others receive 100 free EZPass trips over the bridges the Port Authority operates, trips that cost everyone else $4 a pop.
I don't believe anyone should be getting free EZPass. Employees certainly need that to travel to and from their destination to do their work. But I don't believe anyone should be receiving free passage while citizens are paying.
Jack Wagner, the Auditor General for the state of Pennsylvania, has a seat on the DRPA board. He says he's very troubled by what has been going on there.
There needs to be true transparency and accountability on this board. And the public needs to know that there is not a culture of excess. We are living in very difficult economic times. We are living in a recession that began 2 years ago, and there is no indication that it's ending. At the same time, the public is viewing this authority in many overspending and potential illegal use of public money. Consequently, that must end.
Last September, Michael Joyce, the public safety director, took the EZPass of another employee and gave it to his daughter to drive from their home in New Jersey to school in Pennsylvania each day. Joyce was disciplined yesterday, getting docked 3 days' pay and being asked to reimburse the agency for those trips, which amounts to roughly $600.
I'm not comfortable with that resolve. I don't think that, toll evasion and, conspiring to evade paying tolls, should be treated like that. If that was, Joe citizen, Joe taxpayer crossing the bridge and he did that, we would probably have locked him up.
Commissioner Doherty, who says he has been asking questions that have been ignored by the DRPA board, says he will demand more reforms at the next DRPA meeting. Yesterday's regularly scheduled board meeting was canceled. Doherty and others were critical of Joyce, who has no police training taking on the job of public safety director.
I've had problems, okay, with the way that we handle the selection of the top law enforcement officer from day number one. And I've consistently been asking questions, as I believe everyone knows by now. My concern was that we should always have the most qualified person available.
Michael Joyce was featured in the first NJN news report on the DRPA last month. His law firm is of counsel for the township of Pennsauken. The DRPA says Joyce is authorized to do that second job, despite his $180,000 DRPA salary and $9,000 car allowance. And NJ News has learned that next week the DRPA will announce a series of initiatives to strengthen the authority. Insiders are now acknowledging that there are, quote, problems that need to be addressed. Sources say the DRPA plans to eliminate free EZPass and those car allowances for employees and change its RFP procedures to comply with New Jersey's best practices. There could be an announcement as early as Tuesday. And Jim, we spoke with Pennsylvania State Representative Mike Vereb, who is calling for a criminal investigation of Mike Joyce. He says he's been getting multiple calls from his constituents.
And you had him on the phone just this afternoon?
Yes, I did.
All right, good job here, Zach, and we'll, of course, stay on top of the story.
Thanks.